When you open the World Atlas book and search for the second smallest continent with the third largest population, you will find Europe. The name Europe is derived from the name Europa, which is the name of a goddess in Greek mythology. Europe is bounded by the Atlantic Ocean to the west, Arctic Ocean to the north, and the Mediterranean Sea to the south. Europe has 50 countries in total.
Did you know that the rising sea levels in Europe have a significant impact on people and their assets? Low-lying and densely inhabited areas are particularly vulnerable. Even a minor rise can have disastrous consequences for coastal habitats further inland. Climate change is the main reason for sea level rise, as it drives seawater to expand thermally. It's also causing land-based ice sheets and glaciers to melt. The melting of glaciers disrupts the balance between runoff and ocean evaporation, which is resulting in a rise in sea level. Now, I will pass on to Damia.
Continuing from what Nikki had stated, did you know that storm surges are also one of the reasons why this crisis happened? Storm surges are due to the short-term increase of sea levels due to the wind blowing the water to the coast or due to the low atmospheric pressure. It also plays a significant role in some European regions. Storm surges levels are projected to increase along the northern European Atlantic coastline. Besides that, shoreline erosion is also one of the causes, in which they occur due to the natural flow of sediments in some river basins are obstructed, which causes the lack of sediments to restore the coast and eventually lead to erosion. Thank you.
Initially, I wanted to talk about Germany, but it turns out this country captures my eyes the most. Have you ever heard of what is happening in Finland? Some studies mention that this country is among the affected countries of climate change and sea level changes. Let me show you guys. Finland is located in Northern Europe and is subjected to a severe climate. Mila M. Johansson, 2014, based on her observation about sea level behavior. During the 20th century, mean sea levels on the Finnish coast declined by 1 to 7.2 mm per year, potentially a rise to post-glacial land uplift, which was indirectly affected by external large-scale sea level rise and an increase in the zonal wind. The rise in sea level on a large scale driven by ocean density and circulation. The melting of land-based ice sheets, glaciers, and ice caps happen at a world average rate of 1.7 mm per year, though the local contribution is unknown at the moment. Now, my mate will bring you to another Europe country.
While climatologists use highly technical instruments and satellites to measure the rise of global sea level, the Venetians only used the old ways by counting steps of the centuries-old building that are now underwater. Today we're discussing about the issues of rise of sea level in Venice, Italy, and how do they overcome it. Back in November 1966, a 6-foot high tide, which is the second highest ever recorded, pushed by 35 miles per hour wind, submerged 80% of Venice City, causing damage in excess of 1 billion euros. Now, the recent flooding in Venice is caused by a combination of high spring tide and a meteorological storm surge driven by a strong sirocco wind blowing northeastward across the Adriatic Sea. When these two events coincide, we get what is known as the aqua alta, or the high water. Thanks to a group of intelligence, they came up with a solution. I introduce to you the MOS project, that stands for Modulo Sperimentale Electromecanico, or in English we call that Experimental Electromechanical Module, that consisting of rows of mobile gates to isolate the Venice City and the Venetian Lagoon from the Adriatic Sea during the aqua alta. It is already started in 2003, but due to some issues and multiple delays, it is now expected to be fully functioned by the end of 2021.
Based on an online survey done by a team of researchers based in the Netherlands, 23 out of 32 European countries have planning for sea level rise. Meanwhile, 8 countries have no official sea level rise planning, and for the remaining 1 country, it is unclear at what level sea level rise planning is done. From the result of the survey, we can also tell that all of the European countries have different approaches, including dedicated policies and mainstreaming approaches to overcome sea level rise. Dedicated policies can increase issue attention and help to establish more institutional structures and resources, while mainstreaming approaches aim to increase coherence, consistency, and efficiency of policy implementation. However, there is still a concerning number of European countries which are still not well prepared with any strategies for sea level rise. We would recommend the European countries to work together and share experiences together so that Europe will be well prepared for sea level rise. For now, the big question remains, can Europe handle sea level rise in the future?